Hi, Finn.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Thanks. Thanks for taking time to talk Paw Patrol with me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, were you a big Paw Patrol fan before this, or was this like your first kind of dive into that world?
Well, my little brother was the perfect age for Paw Patrol when it first came out, so he was a big fan of Paw Patrol. We had all the toys and everything, so I would watch it with him. So I enjoyed the show and I knew quite a lot about it, even though I was a bit on the older end of the scale for the show.
That's cool. Where then he must have been super excited that you got this part as a big fan.
Yeah, I mean, by the time I had gotten the part, he was older now, but it's funny because everything's come full circle. I never knew when I was like 6 or 7 watching Paw Patrol that I'd play Ryder once the movies come out. So it still feels surreal.
I bet. How did you get this part?
Well, it was an open casting call across Canada. So I had my first audition was really small. It was probably a couple sentences about myself and then my name. So I submitted that. A couple weeks later, I got a second audition back, and this time it was a scene from the script. So I read that and I submitted it. And then a little while later, my third and final audition was in studio. So that was really neat. I got to go in. I got to meet Cal and Bob and everyone that was a part of the production. So that was really neat. So I read the script, I did my audition, went home, and then I was at school and I was eating lunch, and my dad texted me and he said, "Come outside right now." So I got outside. I was worried, and I got in the car, and both my parents were there. My mom turned to me and she said, "Hello, Ryder." And it was crazy. I knew I was Ryder instantly. It was insane.
That's amazing. I love that. I love how you were like, I was worried because you probably thought you were in trouble.
Yeah.
My kids would think that if I texted them in the middle of the day, come outside. So you talked about you got to go in the studio and that was really cool. So this was your first time doing animation. So what was that like stepping into the booth and getting to kind of embody this character?
Yeah, it's completely different from like live action on set. So it's a completely different experience. I Early on I figured out you have to be way more animated with your voice because they can only hear your voice. So that was really strange. The dynamic of everything, because I had to change how I talk. I had to be a lot more animated, and because it was my first ever animated movie, it was just weird. So when I got the part, Bob and Cal really helped guide me throughout the whole process. They were really great for all that stuff.
Well, that's awesome. Did you get to meet any of your co-stars at all, or did you kind of have to wait because of, I don't know how you film. I know COVID stuff can kind of still throw things
Yeah,
off.
yeah, I didn't get to. I was all alone in my when I was recording, so I didn't know who any of the other people in the movie were until January when the cast got released. So I had no idea I was in this movie with Kim Kardashian, Chris Rock, all these big stars until January. So it was so crazy figuring out these people are in this movie with me, which was really neat. And then uh closer to the premiere of the movie, I got to go up to Toronto and I got to meet a lot of the Canadian actors, which was really neat. But then again, it was really weird because I'm talking to these people in the movie, but I've never met them in my life.
I bet it's got to be wild to like see it all come together.
Yeah.
So, do you feel like you're a lot like Ryder, or that you learned anything about yourself by playing Ryder?
Well, I think because I'm an older brother and Ryder is in charge of all the dogs, there's a lot of similarities between those things. He treats the dogs like his little siblings. He's really soft and gentle with them, which I think resonates with my experience with having a younger brother. And also, as I've played Ryder, I think I've just matched the character in ways. I've grown on him just over the course of the whole recording process.
Definitely. If you could have any superpower like the pups, what would it be and why?
Chase's super speed, definitely, because I just think it'd be awesome to have super speed in my day-to-day life, like for sports, like for hockey or baseball, or just getting somewhere I need to get really quick. I think it'd be really awesome and really helpful to have.
You're not wrong. Who is your favorite Paw Patrol pup?
I think probably Sky because I have a dog that's a cockapoo, so they're like kind of the same to me. And my dog's pretty small, kind of like Sky, which is another issue in the movie.
Hmm. Oh, that's so cute. If you could take anything home from the movie, I know it was animated, but let's pretend it was real. If you could have taken something out of the movie and taken it home, what would it be?
I think Ryder's quad. That'd be really neat to have. Like, I just think it's such a cool vehicle. All the vehicles in the movie are really neat, especially because they're all like super now. Lots of those are really cool. So I think Ryder's quad.
I think that's a good choice. Okay, so my last question, what do you hope kids and families take away from this movie?
No job's too big, no pup's too small for sure. I mean, that no matter who you are, where you're from, you can always make a difference. I mean, I think that resonates with kids and adults now, which is, I think, why the movie appeals to such a wide audience.
No, I agree. And I think you did a great job as Ryder, and I hope we get to hear more of your voice in the future with Paw Patrol.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks.